Yes, we are live.
All
Hello,
right.
everyone. A very good evening, and let me welcome you all to Shananda's Facebook Live session. And today we will be discussing about the festive fitness, and we have with us India's leading lifestyle at fitness icon Nawaz Modi Singhania. Nawaz ji, welcome to Shananda's Facebook Live session.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you here actually because it's been a long journey with Shananda magazine for you. Our readers have been reading your fitness columns for I don't know how many years. So probably for the first
Yeah,
time
yes,
they are seeing you live. Yes.
that's true. My pleasure.
Okay. So as we know that today we will be discussing about the festive fitness, and since the festive season is approaching, the Durga Puja is just a few days away, and we all are a bit worried about the weight management because
Hmm.
many of us are working from home for a very long time, and more or less we have gained some sort of weight. So what would be your suggestion to get back into shape, and that too within this very short period?
So, Madhurima, right now we have a two-in-one whammy. Not only are we battling the usual festive season, we don't want to put on weight. This is the time, in fact, when we want to look our best. It's coming up also with the marriage season and all that. So, we really want to look our best.
Absolutely.
But double problem because we are all in lockdown. We have been since some time. We're anyway battling the weight. So, we have more of an uphill journey this year around. So, a few things that I very strongly suggest. First thing is that, it comes with food. All festivities come with food. Things are fried, things are, sugared out, there's a lot of flour, and it's a problem. And we also have pressure to eat because, in the Indian psyche, if you don't eat my food, that means you don't love me. I have to feed you. It's a token of love and respect, and it's a social nicety. So, some strong suggestions that I have is that if you're in charge of your kitchen, if you're the lady of the house, if you are taking care of your family, or if you're going to be hosting, you have people coming over. You're the one who's going to be hosting, and most of our viewers are all women of the house. I'd strongly suggest that make all the usual things which you absolutely love to eat and love to have. Don't change them, but just make it with healthy ingredients. The food that you're making in itself is not objectionable, but the ingredients that you're putting in could be objectionable. So, for example, if you're frying, don't fry, bake it, or steam it, or grill it. If you're using a lot of white flour, that's objectionable. Instead, find healthier flours to use. Bajra ka atta, jawar ka atta. Quinoa is a fabulous substitute because it gives you all 9 essential amino acids, fabulous protein, atta made of that, of the flour of that. You get these small little mills also that we just clip onto our kitchen counter, and you just put in the grain from the top, and in 1 second below, you get the atta. Almond flour is another very good alternative. Great mind food, fabulous protein. Other substitutes, instead of white sugar, have coconut sugar. Make your whatever you want to make out of coconut sugar. Now, coconut sugar is fabulous because for many reasons. One, 0 calories, zero cholesterol, big thing, especially in lockdown with our health being a big issue right now. And it doesn't have a negative taste like other sweeteners have like a negative kickback taste, and it doesn't taste as good. It's not like that. It tastes just like sugar. So it's a fabulous substitute. Instead of oil, don't use your regular olive oil or sunflower oil or mustard oil. Instead, use canola oil because canola oil is the omegas, the omega 3, 6, which is very important. It's the healthy fat which cuts the bad fat and which is very important for youthfulness, for the mind, for cardiac function, the fertility system, and many other organs. Or you can even use grape seed oil. Grape seed oil, that's G, grape with a G, not rapeseed with an R. So it's not the mustard oil, it's the grape seed ka oil, which is fabulous, great antioxidant. It gets rid of all the toxins that we build up. So when you use healthy ingredients this way, not only are you getting to enjoy the same food and the same snacks, etc., that you like, but you don't have the guilt with it. You feel really good about what you're doing because you know it's really good for your body.
Okay.
Another really smart way of doing this sort of thing is that dress smartly. When you know you have a body, everybody has a body type, and we
Hmm.
know what our strong points are, and we know what our weak points are. We may not want to talk about it, we may not want to admit it, but we all know. For example, I may know that, okay, I have a problem with my stomach and my hips. Or I know that, okay, I have really nice legs, or I have really nice arms. Now, whatever your strong point is, accentuate that, show that in your clothes, show that in the cuts, the types of clothes that you wear, and hide the parts which are not nice. If you don't have nice, for example, if you have heavy hips or heavy, a big stomach, you don't want to wear something light on it and figure hugging. It's just not a smart thing to do. Instead, cover it up, use darker shades, use cuts which are flattering to you, and show the parts of your body which you think look good, right? So this is a really smart way of doing it. Whenever you can get your workout in, even during festivities, because we're now doing it in lockdown, we're doing it like this, over a screen time rather than face to face. Everybody wants to live and be safe. So you still have enough time to get your workout in because you're sitting at home. Get your workout in. There's so many things you can do. I think we can discuss that separately also in another question. But yes, these are all the things that we do to make sure that we maintain everything and keep it all going, and we don't lose ourselves in the process of, a festival, which is supposed to make us feel really good and happy. We don't get really unhappy because we know that this is the time when everybody's looking at us and evaluating us and judging us in their mind. Does she look good? Is she looking fat? Does she put on weight? Is she gray? Does she have lines? It's normal to think all these things about other people. And they're thinking the same thing about us also.
Hmm.
Okay, you want to feel very good about yourself. So, this is how you balance both things out. If you're going out anywhere, suppose you're going to somebody's house, be smart, eat and go, eat lunch, eat dinner, and then go. So, even if you have some snacks, you have it in a way where you're not eating out of greed, you're not eating out of hunger, where you'll eat so much more. You're just eating out of politeness or maybe a little bit of greed or curiosity as to how does it taste, but you're not going to do so much damage. So the many smart ways of doing these things. Another smart way is, if you're going to somebody's house, take a dish or two along with you, a healthy one, like we talked about how you would cook, the kind of substitutes you would use. They'll also feel good that you contributed. They'll also get ideas about, oh, we can do it this way too. And I promise you, everybody, nobody will push back on this because everybody is interested today in their weight, in their health, in not getting sick. Now it's not a matter of luxury anymore. Working out and staying fit and healthy and not putting on weight is not a matter of luxury anymore. It's a hardcore necessity. Your very life depends on it now. So even the elders of the family will be very happy and appreciative when you share these items with them. They're not going to fight you on it. So it's a good time to do
Yes.
that.
Yes, absolutely. But one thing I just wanted to know that we Bengalis have a sweet tooth, and we really can't completely get rid of this mishti, Bengali mishtis or Bengali sweet. So, is there any good alternative for that?
So like I said, don't get rid of it. This emotional eating is very important. We have all grown up in a certain culture, and we all have emotional eating which is associated with our culture. I'm a Parsi. If you ask me to give up dansak, it's not going to happen. And whatever other, Parsi foods I may have grown up with or liked. It's like asking an Indian to give up dal roti or dal chawal. It's not going to happen. Okay, so we don't want you to do that because we don't want you to be unhappy emotionally, mentally, psychologically. I mean, after all, it's a very important, it's an integrated part of a human being. We can't separate their physical aspect from the emotional, mental well-being, psychological aspect, and we should not. So it should be integrated. So your mishti and the other Bengali sweets, you just have to look at what are the objectionable ingredients. Is there
Hmm.
white flour in it? Is it fried? Is it sugared? And as I mentioned, the substitutes, which we just spoke about right now. When you substitute, you have the same mishti again, but you're doing something doubly good for your body. Okay, you're enjoying it mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and you're not eating it guiltily, knowing that, oh my God, I'm going to put on weight, I'm going to age because of this, my health is going for a toss because of this. All this is not going to happen. You feel doubly good because you know what you're eating is really good for you. So,
Absolutely.
absolutely, please do it.
Okay, and when we are talking about weight management, I'm sure many of our viewers will also be sending us questions regarding that. It's about the stubborn belly fat. Like, it's the most difficult probably to reduce. So, any tips for that in terms
Yeah,
of exercise? Yeah.
yeah, that's what we joke about, no? That the even in lockdown, the belly fat is still going out only while we are all staying in. So, okay. So now, think about it this way, okay? That we may exercise once a day at best, but you are eating at least 6, 7 times a day. Huh? What's going to happen? It's and it's going directly to the belly, right? So it's not about not firstly it's not about dieting. No diet in the world works, because if it did, then there wouldn't be another new diet fad that's out, right? It would have already worked, and you would know that, okay, this already works and this is what I'm going to have to do. So the only thing that actually works is balanced eating, is sensible eating. Do not have your three, there's this theory that, okay, no, don't snack in between, only eat your 3 square meals. No, that's wrong. When you eat your 3 square meals and don't snack in between, it's a big problem. These 3 square meals are going to make you very round. And the reason for that is that when you know that, okay, I'm only eating 3 meals in the day, I'm not going to get any more, you're automatically going to overeat. Okay, you're not going to just pick and snack and graze. What's really important is to avoid these large square meals and keep snacking away through the day, because then the body burns it off immediately as fuel. It doesn't collect it on the body, it doesn't give the brain wrong signals of, oh my God, survival, khana milega ya nahi, will I be able to survive or not? Maybe there's a emergency, maybe there's a famine, maybe there's a, I better stock up on my fat. All these alarm bells don't go off wrongly in the head and give wrong signals to us to try and load up on our fat and maintain it in the body. So this sort of thing is very important.
Absolutely. And is there any particular kind of exercise that you would suggest to reduce this belly fat?
Cardio exercise is very important. So cardiovascular exercise is very important even in these days, okay? Because we are all looking at cardiorespiratory fitness. The COVID-19 is attacking our cardiorespiratory system. Now, aerobic exercise is called cardiorespiratory fitness because it enhances the cardiorespiratory system. Now, what does cardiorespiratory fitness or aerobic fitness mean? It means that you've got to take your heart rate up to a certain extent. Your respiratory system is also taxed, which means you're breathing heavily. You're breathing heavily, and you maintain that for a certain period of time to be burning fat, inches, weight, and to improve your cardiorespiratory system, to improve your breathing, to improve your whole cardiac functionality, and to make sure that you keep the immunity high. Everything we need during COVID right now. Okay. So, exercises which include the whole body, your arms, legs, the whole body. Things like a cardio class, a dance class, an aerobic class, or simpler activities like walking, cycling, using the elliptical machine, or swimming if you can maintain swimming for a long period of time. Most people can't, they have to stop start. So
Yes.
as long as it's an activity which you can maintain for that ideally 40, 45 minutes. But even if not, even if you just start when you're new, you just start with 10, 15 minutes, you still start seeing the benefit and gradually build it up, because the body has to get used to it. You can't just suddenly from zero go to 100. It won't work. So you've got to get used to it. And it has to be sub-maximal exercise, which means that you're not working out to your full extent. You're not totally huffing and puffing and out of breath and feel like, oh my God, I just can't continue with this. It is done to a moderate extent, which means that my heart rate is up, I am breathing heavily, but I'm able to cope with it comfortably. Now, in this moderate range, what happens is you burn fat for fuel. The calories that you burn are fat calories. You don't burn other calories like glycogen, quick energy, phosphagen systems, which are other forms of calories, which you would burn when your heart rate is very high. Okay, those are great for health and fitness, but they do nothing for fat loss and inch loss. And this is our main problem right now. So you may be working out very hard and wondering, why am I not seeing any result? This is a very good reason as to why you may not see result, because fat is not burnt at high intensities. It's burnt more at moderate intensities, but long duration and continuous. No stop start. Yeah. Now, when you do that, coupled with just a few minutes, just even 3-4 minutes maximum of a little bit of pure abdominal work every day, you find massive result. Okay. Some simple things that you may be able to do: crunches, planks, sit-ups. Okay. You see amazing result right away. Of course, with sensible eating, you can't fool yourself and say, oh, now I'm working out, so now this is my gate pass to misbehave. I can eat what I want and drink what I want and do what I want. No, because what you're burning off, you have to keep off. That's your job. Meaning, eat well, but sensible stuff. It's what you eat, and also a little bit of the quantity, as we spoke, rather than anything else. It's not about starving and not eating. That's going to, in fact, send all the wrong signals to the body and the mind that, oh my God, I better lower my basal metabolic rate. I better be more energy conservant. Maybe survival is at stake. It sets off a whole lot of other negative signals to the mind, which cause other problems, which, we don't want to get into right now. So the body needs fuel. It needs the right fuel in the right quantity and the right way.
Absolutely.
Another
No,
thing is we have a lot of emotional eating right now, in lockdown, because of all the emotions that we are going through naturally, whether it's job loss, life loss, pay cut loss, the insecurity of the future, the just horrible things are happening out there. There are all sorts of emotions that we are all dealing with: extreme fear, anger, even a bit of being upset, being bitter, maybe being a little envious, maybe being a little jealous, maybe being frustrated, taking it out in the family. Even sometimes, if you don't have not gotten along with your family members, now you're in lockdown with them. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. All sorts of violence of all sorts are coming out, and it's doing major mental, emotional, psychological damage. Okay. Exercise is a huge antidepressant. Happy hormones are released during exercise. The feel good hormones are being released during exercise. Which hormones? Things like endorphins, serotonins, dopamines. Now they are more powerful than even antidepressant drugs, but without the side effects. So really important, because we've got to take care of our minds as well at this point in time. Even the strongest of us will, even people who didn't have issues before the lockdown, if you had issues before the lockdown, whether they were relationship issues or job loss issues or mental issues or whatever your issues were, right now we all know they're 1,000 times more manifest. It feels that much more difficult and that much worse. But even the strongest of us, it's a hard time. So this becomes very important in combination to take care of all these things. We are leaning on many people are leaning on negative ways of coping, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sometimes even drug abuse, or even if it's emotional overeating. Okay, it's happening now. We need to be aware and careful of these things, because within limit it can make us feel good. After that, it actually wrecks us, because let's take alcohol abuse, for example. Now, alcohol is known to be an antidepressant. It is known to dehydrate the body. You don't want that during COVID. It also drops the immune system. We know that. We're likely to get more sick. Really don't want that right now. So what are you doing? You're ending up harming yourself, no? So we need to be balanced in taking help from a certain way of dealing with things, which is not going to mess us up further. Now, healthy ways of doing that could include enjoy your hobbies, enjoy what you actually enjoy doing in a healthy way. For example, right now I've almost finished writing my book. Before lockdown started, over 9 months I was trying to write my book. I didn't even write one chapter. Now, in the last 7 months of lockdown, I've nearly finished writing my book. I'm painting a lot. I'm doing a lot of commissioned orders. I'm doing a course which is free on Harvard, in Harvard. So, engage yourself and put your energies in a right way, in the right direction to make you feel good about what's happening out here, because every cloud still has a silver lining. It's a terrible time, but there still are advantages. Learn to, life's giving you lemons, no? Have a shot of tequila. Make it
Yes,
good.
absolutely.
That's the point, that you take a negative and you take advantage of it in a good, positive way.
Absolutely. Yes. And we will continue with this discussion, but we have a few questions from our audience. So, just taking those questions. We have a question. How can exercise help us in case of menstrual pain?
Okay, so a lot of people, when they have their monthly periods, they tend to say, I'm not going to exercise now because I've got my period. Okay. And what I always tell them is that when you actually, if you have mild to moderate kind of pain and discomfort, especially on the first, second day, if you exercise, you'll find that it miraculously disappears. You feel really good. Okay, it is a natural function of the body, as is exercise. Your God has given you 2 arms and 2 legs. He wants you to move around. Okay, so please treat it all naturally, which it is. Don't make a big deal. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, it's only the sort of people who have very extreme pain, extreme discomfort, can't get out of bed, sometimes maybe throwing up, etc., etc. People who have that kind of problem, that we advise first, second day don't come, don't exercise. But after that, definitely do. Also, it regularizes your cycle. People who have issues with your menstrual cycle, you'll find that exercise regularizes your full cycle, and you'll find that you end up working on all your organs internally. See, exercise is not only external, it's not only about anti aging and slimming you and toning you and tightening you and great hair and great nails and great skin. Of course, it is. But there's much more to it. Everything inside the body that you're not able to see, because even organs have fat in and around them, and their functionality drops when they're unfit. But when you are working on your whole body generally, you're reducing fat in and around the organs, and you're making them much more effective. You're upping their function, which otherwise may be slow, sluggish, or just not adequate enough. You're working on the chi, you're working on the energy balance in the body. So we don't even really talk about that so much. So thank you for that question. That was a lovely question. We don't even talk about that so much because we're all caught up in the superficiality of it. दिखती कैसे है, बाल कैसे हैं, how does your skin look, how does your hair look, is she thin, is she fat, is she old, is she gray, whatever. We're very superficial that way. But what exercise does for you on a very, very deep level is actually the gold, is actually worth its weight in gold, more than the superficial.
Absolutely. And we have another question from Neil Chakravorty. He writes that I am 24, my height is 5 feet, weight 66 kg. I started gym from 22nd September. If I go for body recomposition, that is body fat loss and muscle gain at the same time, how far will it work for me? Also, currently I'm on a weight loss diet.
Okay. So the first question is, how much will it what me?
How far will it work for me? The
How
body
far will it work
recomposition
for
thing.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're 24, you're working out. Please increase your protein intake. You really need that. Without your protein intake, you don't have the fuel to be able to build up the way you want to. This is really important. Get complete protein in. If you're an Indian vegetarian, also, there are many good sources of protein. Soya, all your lentils, all your beans, sprouts, milk and milk products, quinoa, we spoke about that before. And if you're non-veg, so of course there are many other sources. All your, your chicken, your fish, etc. Eggs, great source of protein. So please make sure that that is in order. Otherwise, no matter how much you work out and what you do, it's not going to give you the result that you want. You're also on a weight loss diet, fabulous. For that, you're going to have to get your cardiovascular workout also in. And I want to emphasize that because typically gym goers tend to neglect that and they're just working on pumping. Please don't be the sort of guy who only pumps on the upper body. Guys think that there's only biceps, chest, and triceps. Nothing else is there. Don't ignore the legs, the lower body, etc. Very, very important. The back, abs, of course, you'll get anyway, I know. Okay, so that's how you work on it. The cardiovascular fitness has to be there to burn any fat and inches in the same fashion that you heard in the earlier part of our discussion in this live right now. So take it back, hear it again. I know Sananda, I know Madhurima is going to be uploading this on your website. Sorry, on your Facebook and other handles.
Absolutely. Okay. Lima Chaudhary, she writes that I am 75 kg. My height is 5 feet 3 inches. How to lose weight? She wants to lose weight for the full body.
Yeah. So, lovely question, very common question. Now, it's the cardio that's going to be very important out here again. You can't get away from that. If you are working out already, good, up the cardio to further. If you're not, then you have to start slowly. Start with thrice a week, alternate days, and gradually, little by little, as you're feeling comfortable, confident, you're feeling that you're able to take it up to a higher level, increase it to 3 times a week, 4 times a week. But eventually, 6 to 7 days a week really gets us our ideal. Which cardio activities? Now, when you're in lockdown, it gets difficult to do cardio because you feel I can't go even out for a walk. It's not safe. How much can I going to keep walking in the house for 1 hour? I'll go mad. What will I do? By the way, our fitness centers, Body Art, went online as soon as lockdown started. So we are doing online personal trainings also, which are very bespoke because depending on a person's age, fitness level, health problems, their goals, their likes, their dislikes, we tailor make programs for them. And it's a very large variety of routines also 15, 17 different types and forms of routines that we do with them online from the safety and comfort of their home, and it's at a very reasonable rate. It's constantly changed so that you never find that you are caught in a lull, that now you're kind of used to the routine, you've gotten immune to it, the body is not reacting. That doesn't happen because of the way we work. That's one part of it. The other part is we cardio group classes, which were a large offering of some 20, 25 different types and forms of cardiorespiratory fitness. All went online. And unlike any other YouTube or, Facebook or Instagram, live, it's not just an upload. That's just a pre-recorded and uploaded. It's not. It's live. It's like it's on a Zoom platform, but it's very specialized technology, which I've managed to rattle out of our tech teams, which just didn't exist. So 15, 17 of us here can be on live, looking at each other, talking to each other, doing our cardio together, dancing around, giving feedback, whatever it is. And that's really important because you need to feel that group energy. It's very hard to do cardio on your own all the time and motivate yourself to that degree. It's kind of like saying, okay, Madhurima, go to a discotheque and dance all night long by yourself without any music. It doesn't work. You just don't feel like. You need the group energy. You need to look at people. You need to see them, and you need to kind of it needs to be thumping. You need to feel it. So that's what we also provide, just letting our viewers know. And the first session is always complimentary because we want them to try it out and just see how they felt before they join us. These are great options. Otherwise, buy yourself a treadmill, sit in the house and do it. Or a cycle or something of that sort. But you have to motivate yourself to be able to do it. That's really important. So, yeah. By the way, for this question, my Instagram, Facebook handles give lots of different other ideas as to how you can work out cardiovascularly to lose fat, inches, weight at home. So your viewers may want to check that out as well. I guess I can give the handles at the end of the session, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Perfect. And we were also discussing about the immunity thing. So, if you can please elaborate, like how exercise can help us boost the immunity, and not only exercise. I think the nutrition, sleep, hydration, all these things are completely associated with each other.
So, the immune system is naturally boosted when you are exercising. Recipes help you. Certain recipes will help you. Sorry, got something stuck in my throat. Certain recipes which are immune building will help you. Increase your
Okay.
vitamin C. Increase your avla intake. Sorry, I just want a sip of water.
Okay. Sure.
Which can help you with your immunity as well. They're naturally immune building. So things like specifically fruits and vegetables, but particularly spinach, broccoli are immune building vegetables. Sometimes I make dishes of only that. Everybody in the house has to eat only that then. That's what's made. Or then there are many spices and herbs which build the immune system, like garlic, ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, onions, chilies, black pepper, turmeric, haldi. I have it doubled in my whole family's food.
Okay.
Orange things like again, my website has a lot more. Website Insta has a lot more. It gives you a lot of recipes as to how you can make different things. So, for example, these fabulous orange quinoa cookies.
Hmm.
Lovely idea. The It's not made out of white flour. It's made out of quinoa or almond flour. So that's great because you're not getting the negativity of the white flour, but you're getting all the goodness of protein, the brain food also, and protein is very big on immunity because it's flavored with orange juice and flavored with orange rind. Again, you're getting the vitamin C in. It's a very smart combination. So a lot of these things I would strongly suggest that you take in and you do. Sleep is very, very important. Getting in quality and quantity sleep is very important in our weight, in our health, in anti-aging and everything. It is singularly the most important thing that you can do, even more important than fitness, nutrition, good habits, etc. So never undermine the importance of good sleep. It's so important to learn to switch your mind off from the day's issues and problems. Cut, put a pause button on it till the next morning, but get your sleep in uninterruptedly, quality and quantity. Water is very important in managing your weight, in getting rid of toxic weight. And a lot of our weight is toxic weight, and it also leads to disease. Very important in youthfulness, very important in all our functionality. So, adequate water, 2 liters. Unless you have like a kidney problem or something of that sort, where you've specifically been told that no, you actually need to drink less because of this.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's another very important thing. And Yeah, so these are all the things that you need to do to keep your immunity up. Of course, there are alternate methodologies also, which I'd strongly recommend, whether you are syncing with a homeopath or an acupressurist, because there are pressure points also in the body, which greatly boost the immune system.
Hmm.
Pranayams, breathing exercises, greatly boost the respiratory system, the immunity, etc. So, all this in combination is very important. None of this is going to work if you don't take care of your mind, if you don't watch your thoughts very carefully, because thought level is the only entry point where you can exercise some level of control. We don't have it at any other level. You don't have it at the word level, the deed level, or what actually happens. The reason for this is that once the thought comes in,
Hmm.
the thought becomes the word. the word becomes the deed, whatever I'm doing, as a result of all my thoughts and my words. And my deed gives me the result, whatever I was working towards. Okay. And that creates my reality in my world. So you have to be, and when we're not careful about what we think about, we are very careless about the thoughts we allow to come into our system. So we need to be a lot more careful to allow information to come in, but not to muddy us, not to turn us into dark, negative creatures. It has to serve us, not deplete us. So we have to be very careful and mindful of who and what we allow into our energy fields at the thought level.
Absolutely. And in this trying times, like we all are a bit concerned about the aged members of our family. Like they are a bit compromised, and they also have various problems like arthritis or joint pain. So they can't really do that sort of exercise. So what would be your suggestion for them? Like should they walk or
No,
should they be basic
no,
cardio? Yeah.
yeah, I don't actually agree. Again, my Insta and Facebook, specifically on senior citizens,
Yes.
gives information on how to keep their immune system up, and at this point in time, how to take care of them. And also, this point in time, they are also missing their trainers or their physiotherapists, etc. And natural occurrences of aging, whether it's, hands are quivering, shaking, we have balance related issues, eyesight weakens, hearing weakens, or, we lose bowel control, or we have urinary incontinence, or we're bent over, osteoporosis. I mean, the many, many natural signs and symptoms of aging. If you all check out my Insta and Facebook, you'll see that with a single exercise for each of these problems, depending on what your problem is, single exercise, you can reverse all these issues. So I'm sorry, age is not an excuse. It's just
Absolutely.
it's just a different way of doing things. It's just a different parameter. There are different variations. I'm sorry, but it's not the aging. It's how you take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Very true. Yes. So we are almost coming to the end of this session. So before we wrap up, I would just like to ask you, like, since we began with this festive season thing, so what would be your suggestion to keep fit?
What would be my sorry? What to keep fit?
Yes, like since we began this discussion for the festive season, for the upcoming festive season, so what would be your suggestion to be fit in a nutshell? Like we want
So
to end on a positive note, yeah.
I'll tell you what I do at home.
Yes, please.
Okay. What I do at home is my kitchen will cook all the goodies that we normally have in a Marwadi household, which we have. I'm married to a
Hmm.
Marwadi. I'm a Parsi though.
Hmm.
So it'll have all of those, but made in the healthy fashion that I explained to you.
Yes.
Okay. Two, of course, we are all dressing in a way which is complementary to us. We all know that mera thoda ye hai, this is bad, this is good. We're all dressing in a way which is complementary to us. If we're going anywhere, although now in lockdown, so I don't think we'll want to go anywhere. But if you're going anywhere, some party, some Diwali, some small gathering, even in careful circumstances, though, like I said, I seriously doubt anyone will want to, still, then with all care and protocol, you eat and go. So you don't end up take a nice dish along as a gift to the host to give them ideas as to how they can also stay fit, slim, healthy, etc. Another smart thing, ask them for their recipes. They feel very good about it. Share your recipes as to how they can make it better, slimmer, because they also have the same problem of losing health, gaining weight, being scared. These days, you don't even want to think that, oh my God, kuch ho jayega tha. I don't even want to think that I'll have to see a doctor or go to a clinic or a hospital. That thought is only so terrifying because you
Yes.
know what will happen, right? And so this is how I do things. And we are working out. We're working out before the puja, after our meals, we are working out. We've not stopped that. In fact, we'll work out a little bit more because thoda kuch zyada in case you ate, a little bit here, there. You don't want it on your body. So you
Absolutely.
put in a little bit more effort here and there. Stay active in the house, you're sitting in the house
Hmm.
trying to be fit and trying to listen to these sessions and all, then you're telling your staff, mujhe, pani lao. Put the switches on, no. Put the AC on, no. Do it yourself. It's all active. It's all getting you to stay fit and healthy and to keep you mobile. Do it yourself, right? And by the way, when you're at home, you may say, "Main kitna karu? I don't have anything to work out. How will I work out? How will I do it?" Okay. One, I told you we have all these online classes and all this, just fabulous. You get so much variety with nothing. You don't need anything. Another thing you can do is even with household items, and it's there on my social media handles, even with just a wall, I can get a fabulous workout in. Even with just a chair, I can get a fabulous workout. Even with just things I find in the house, bacche ka ball or a dupatta,
Yes. With the bottles, water bottles, yeah.
water bottles, books, you can get a fabulous workout. Your furniture, you can get fabulous workouts in. It's just that we were never trained to think that way because we didn't need to. We were not in the house. So now it's different, but you can. It's very, very doable. In fact, there's a lot of variety. So I'd strongly suggest that, where there's a will, there's always a way. And where there's no will, there's absolutely no way. It's very simple.
Yes, yes. So staying active and staying fit, like this is the message from you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us. It's a
Can I,
pleasure to have you here.
not at all,
Yes.
Madhurima, it was my pleasure. May I share my social media handles so people can, because I've said a little bit, but there's a lot that I've not said, and it will leave a big gap in people's minds as to okay, actually what did she mean and how do I do it. So, yeah, so if you check out our Insta handle, it's Nawaz at Body Art, sorry, Nawaz Body Art Mumbai. Our Facebook and YouTube handle is Body Art Mumbai, and our website for these classes. And like I said, we give all our people a complimentary trial class, so just jump in for one of those even. And we also have personal training, so it's very bespoke, all online, all on Zoom, very safe, in comfort of your home. So check that out on our website, bodyart.in. And we also have a lot of other information on mental wellness at this point, on drinking and alcoholism at this point, on a variety of things which concern us, other recipes to keep the immunity up, so on and so forth. So it really fills in all the gaps that you need, because this is not, we know, probably going to be a short-term situation. It's probably going to be something we're going to have to kind of live with for a while. So we need to figure out the best way of doing it. We're going to have to take care of ourselves, our senior citizens, people we care about. We're not living in a bubble. Our lives are very emotionally, psychologically interwoven with our parents or our siblings or our whatever, our children, our husbands, our wives. So their wellness is, we need to look at that in an integrated fashion. It's not okay to say, I'm taking care of myself, bas ho gaya. If something happens to them, you're not okay. So we as women, and many of our viewers are women, are really the leaders of, taking care of our family's health and leading from the front, and setting the program really. So that's what I'd suggest to all, that have a fabulous festive season, but don't lose yourself in it. The idea of festivity is that you feel really good about everything. And when you're not feeling good about yourself, you can't feel good about anything else. It starts with you. So don't lose yourself in this, whether it's weight gain or anything or health as a result of it. It's just not worth it. Gift yourself and your family the biggest gift of health, wealth. That's your wealth, life, and staying fit, staying slim.
Thank you so much. Thanks to our viewers also. Thank you so much. For more such session, please do check our Facebook page and Instagram page. And okay, so actually we can't finish this right now because we have one more question. So can we just take it? Like our viewer is asking that, can you suggest some remedies of back pain?
Back pain. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a fabulous one. That's also there on my handles, back pain. Because, thank you for that question. The first weight that comes on is on our midsection. You usually put on weight around the middle. the stomach, the hips, the thighs, and all that jummos on the back. All that pressures the back first. Inactivity pressures the back first. As soon as you lose some flexibility and mobility, which we lose during lockdown because we're just not out and about that much, it pressures the back first. You lose your functional fitness first. Functional fitness is, am I functionally fit in my daily life and activities? Can I manage everything I normally do without any pain and discomfort in a very good, agile way? Example, am I able to pick something up, move it around, carry things without hurting my back or hurting myself? Am I able to go to sleep, get out of bed in the morning without saying that, oh my God, I have a crick in my neck. I don't know why I've hurt my neck, but I've somehow hurt my neck. That should not happen. Am I able to get in and out of a car, especially a low sports car, without struggling away? In 1 second, can I do it? Okay. Very often the answer is no during lockdown. Now, all these things have a very huge impact on the back. So, to get rid of back pain, keep your weight in check. The more weight that comes onto your back, the worse your back will be. Let me give you an example. The viewer who asked this question, suppose I gave you a very heavy belt to wear, 2, 3, 4 kilo ka belt to wear around your back. And I told you walk around with it. How will you feel? After a while, it's going to start hurting. You're going to feel very uncomfortable. You're going to want to take it off. Now, you know what? When you have that 2, 3, 4 kilos on you, you cannot take it off. You have to walk around with it all the time. Think of what it's going to do to your back. It's only natural that your back is going to go for a toss. You really need to get to the root of the problem, which is get the weight off in the way we spoke, cardiovascular exercise, etc., along with midsection work, ab work, back work of the sort that we spoke about. And stretches. Stretches help hugely. A lot of back stretches, which is also there on my social media handles, how to do that, what to do, etc. There are some great back strengthening exercises which you can get into only when you're on neutral ground on the back, not when the back is actively hurting. At that time, you need stretches. But once you've stretched out and you find that, okay, now I'm in a reasonably good place, back is yet weak, but it's not hurting. I know I need to strengthen it up. Only then the strengthening exercises can be taken on so that you see yourself from one end of the bank to the other. You know, you're not in this gray area from a bad place to a midsection, middle ground. You see yourself to a very good side where you feel that, okay, all that is in the past. I'm totally fit and fine.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for your suggestions. And finally, we are wrapping up. So thank you so much for joining us. And thanks to our viewers also who have been watching this session. And I'm sure that we will have you for another session very soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's been my pleasure. Have a great festivity and stay healthy and fit, all you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
All right. Good evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.